part D.3, query for number of problems. Starting from this video, I plan to use 4 small videos to explain all the possible details for the second dynamic feature for our project number 1. Now, the first one, I only want to look at one small problem. Query for number of problems. We just need to get that query. That query will return the number of problems in our problem table. Yeah. All right, so let's look at the topic, get the problem numbers dynamically. Yeah. Here, I emphasize this dynamically because I don't want any of you just look at the number of problems in our database table, and then you type that number on the page in a hard-coded way. That's really bad. First, it is not the dynamic way. It is the static way, right? Yeah, that is the static way. So avoid it. Definitely avoid it. Yeah, otherwise you cannot get any point for that part. All right, must be, so no static way. Yeah. So here I do not explain too much. Yeah, because there is another important reason in our project number 2. Project 2, yeah, there is an early version of the description. You will see we need to add new questions in the table. After the new question is added, that total number problem, the problem number, total numbers will change. Yeah. Then if we do dynamically, right? Dynamically, it will reflect the change. Right? Yeah. So that number, yeah, so you know what number, right? So that number will change immediately, right? Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah. Nobody can do that. When a problem change, you need to change the code in a hard-coded way. That's not realistic, right? So, yeah, so that's the nice thing about the dynamic way to display the data, right? So let me do not, talk about too much about that. So I think you understand why we need to do it in this way. Next, let us start from something similar in our existing example. Yeah. All right. MySQL query, we have a similar one. Yeah. Here, let me use this query. This is from animal survey example. Animal survey example. All right. Yeah. In that example, you can see total number of votes. We use this query. Yeah. We use this query. All right. Now, for our current question, yeah, we need to modify a little bit. Yeah. Modify, but we can use the similar way. Yeah. The first, look at the sum. Sum here, it is a function. Yeah. In MySQL, so this is, we call aggregate function. We have many aggregate functions. Okay, sum is one, max, min, minimum, and a count. All right, average. Okay, average. All right, yeah. There are many aggregate functions. Yeah. All right, the sum, you know the meaning. Yeah. Adding up all the vote numbers. So that's what we need in that animal survey example. All right, but here we do not use the sum function, right? We want to count the number of total problems in that table. So the aggregate function we should use is the count. So we change the aggregate function from sum to count. Then, the other parts we need to change accordingly. So then we will get the correct query. All right, so let me write the query part. Select, still we use select statement. This time count. Yeah. Here I use the capital because it's a function name, the keyword, right? Keyword, we should, yeah. But here, because the original code used the lowercase, yeah, but actually it's better we use, capital, yeah. But it's not a big deal, yeah. All right, count, PID from our table. This is our table name, yeah. Then this is the field name, problem ID, field name, yeah. But when we count one ID, we count it as one. All right. The ID number is not important. We just count the item. When you have one item is available, we count it as one. Yeah. So total number of problems, we just look at the ID column, right? ID column. Because the PID column, we know it won't be missing, right? It won't be missing. It is always there. For other field, probably it could be missing, right? Yeah, because for sometimes you have some missing field. Then when you count, it won't be counted. It won't be counted, right? Yeah, that could happen. So you count this column or this field, its value not missing. Yeah. Not missing, so we guarantee one problem has one PID. That PID is counted as one. That's what we need. All right. Yeah. So after that, we have this query. So later, we just put this query in the appropriate location and create a query object. Then we, do the query. How about that? All right. Yeah. All right. At this point, another question. How do you know this query is correct? Right? How do you know this query is correct? Do you want to test it? Right? Yeah, because it is correct. Do you want to test it? Yeah, usually we should test it and see if it gives us an expected value. Yeah, let us do that step. Yeah, we go to our database, then we run this query. All right, yeah. So after that, we want to see the result. If the result is correct, then our next step, we implement this query in our Java class. Yeah. All right, yeah. Next, let me show you. Yeah. Test it. We need to test it. Yeah. All right. So let me bring up our database. First, make sure your database server running. Yeah. Second, bring up the web browser. Yeah, here the web browser. All right, and our database, MathProbDB problem. All right. Then SQL command area, we can enter SQL command. All right. Next, yeah, copy paste. Yeah. Copy our the new query we want to test. Yeah. All right. Because I already put in my, buffer. Yeah. So I just replace this one. See, count. Yeah. That's exactly what we want to test. Yeah. Now click the Go button and see what happens. See here, count parenthesis PID 109. Is this the expected value in our database? Yes, it is. We have 109 questions in our problem database. That means this query is correct. So our next step, we need to implement this query in our Java class. Now, I will show you in the next video. Yeah. All right, so let me stop right here and we will move to next video, D.4, quickly.